What I want to find out from you is during the time that your stepfather was living alone and having these transient ischemic attacks, did he bought a parcel of land off of an infomercial, didn't he?
Yeah, I didn't know some of this was going on, but what I found out down the line was that for a year and a half or so before the tables turned dramatically, he was doing really terrible things with his money. He was one of these folks who kept in the house his money. He kept $50,000 to $60,000 in the house. And he began to buy this worthless property that's advertised, at midnight on television. And he ended up buying property in 2 or 3 different places, spending $12,000 to $14,000, $15,000 a pop on property that was assessed at $1,000 or $1,500.
How did you find out about that?
Well, as I said, when things started to get dicey, he actually did ask me if I could help him with some financial things. He didn't ask me to take over his finances at that point, but I think what happened some guys came around selling some windows, and he signed something saying that he wanted these windows put in, and then he realized that the price was probably 3 times what they were worth. And that was when he got fearful, actually, and asked me if I could be there that day when those guys came. And that was the turning point in terms of helping him with the finances. At that point, when I started to take over his finances and pay his checks for him, I found these deeds to this property, and I realized that he had probably spent about $50,000 on worthless property. He also ended up buying a $10,000 car for somebody in the neighborhood, and that was another strand of problems. So one was this property, and the other was I realized that money was starting to go out to several people who were unscrupulous. And I'm sure this happens all the time, folks preying on people like him, and he was vulnerable.